Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Monday to everybody watching here live, or maybe a part of the replay gang on this episode 427 of the Purple Rain podcast. The J.K. Dobbins, Asa Jackson, Cyrus Jones, Ray Rice, TJ Tampa edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Like I said, thank you for coming through, spending your Monday evening with us, or maybe Tuesday morning, maybe Monday night. I don't know when you're watching it, but if you are, let us know down below. Hashtag replay gang. You can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X at SuttonDef. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yes, if you have not already, like the video and subscribe if you're new to talk in that nice little sidebar and let your comments be heard. But first off, I see TC with the Tempe saying, "What up, fam? I appreciate your hard work you put into making great content." Starting off with the good vibes right there. Thank you, TC, with the 10 piece. But yeah, lots of Ravens news over the weekend, which has kind of been the topic. I mean, this is the offseason altogether. It's been Ravens news no matter when it is, whether it's a dead season, whether it's a busy season. You will get Ravens news whether you like it or whether you don't. And you have signings, you have guys coming back, you have training camp reporting tomorrow. Football season is here. It is here.
Yes.
If you've been yearning for it, it's back. So I guess Merry Christmas to my football fans. We're back.
We are back. We are indeed back, Alex. And, ever since the World Cup wrapped up, I was thinking to myself, like, man, we're only weeks away from, like, actual, like, football, like, American football being back and, seeing these Ravens and see what they... Listen, man, I have not been more excited for a Ravens season than this one, like, in a long time, a very long time. And I genuinely mean that because it's something... It feels new. It feels fresh. It feels like the Ravens are kind of, I guess you could say, turning a new leaf. And like, I cannot wait to see what this new product looks like that they're going to put out there on the field with this new coaching staff and everything like that. But no, man, like you mentioned, welcome in to another episode 427 of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you guys so much for coming through. Live chat, always for the live chat. Shout out to y'all. Clap it up for the live chat, by the way. Live chat coming through, supporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Each and every time. Yeah, go ahead.
it's funny you bring up soccer because I'm as excited as I am for the Ravens. Not to spear off, my Arsenal have a chance of getting Vinicius Jr.
Really?
Yes. So if that happens, I don't know who I'm even more excited for. I really don't. Yeah.
You get Vinny on that team with
Yeah.
Declan Rice and
Hey, listen,
man.
it could happen, but I was trying to explain like how big it is. It's like imagine if like a Justin Jefferson came to the Ravens. Like you finally get that
Yeah.
one piece you've been missing. Like that's generally like the same thing. So
Yeah.
if I get the Ravens like that, it could be a good year for sports. It could be a good year, but
Man.
at least our head coach doesn't shy away from Super Bowl talk. I watched the lounge and it's a breath of fresh air with Jesse Minter. Not to get off
It is.
the track too much, man. I was eating it up. I mean, he was definitely giving us what we wanted, and none of that. Oh, Super Bowl or bust. No, he's like he wants to win it year one. He wants to be that guy. So, sorry, just not to get on a tangent. Jesse Minter, you gotta
No.
get my backing.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Minter, it's a night and day difference between what we're hearing from him and what we heard from John Harbaugh last season. And what I mean by that is like in terms of like the Super Bowl talk, right? Because John Harbaugh was, the main one putting on the front that like Super Bowl or bust is like something that people who've never won anything, that's what they say. And like he was just really downplaying it like it didn't matter. But like Jesse Minter doesn't shy away from saying like, no, like, yeah, we've talked about February 14th in LA at SoFi. This is where we plan to be, right? But you don't have those talks every day. He added some nuance to it as well, Alex. I don't know if you caught that part too. He added some nuance. He was like, yeah, you don't talk about it every day. You establish it once, but like you just put in the work, you grind, but like in the back of your head, like this is where we want to be. This is our goal, right? So I loved like all of the kind of ambitious thoughts that Jesse Minter threw out there on that Lounge podcast episode as well, man. And by the way, Lounge podcast, they're coming out with an episode tomorrow morning. I just found out with Lamar Jackson. So definitely we'll be covering that tomorrow on Quiet Storm Sports. So another reason to just go ahead, if you are a Ravens fan or just an NFL fan in general or a sports fan in general, give us a sub if you have not already. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through. Okay. So Alex, I figure we start with this. We talked about it backstage here off camera. there was some news that came out. I think it was on Friday or maybe it was Saturday. I can't be sure. But Nnamdi Madubuike is back in the news again. Uh, per Jeff Zaribek, Nnamdi Madubuike has been cleared by independent spine and cervical doctors to return to the field. Again, per Jeff Zaribek. Shout out to Jeff Z. And the Ravens put him on the physically unable to perform list, which I think probably, to me at least, when I originally saw it, and I saw somebody say in the chat, Ravens lover says Sutton on the Beaks news, why did you think it was bad? He's saying that because I made a tweet after that news came out saying that, nobody should panic about Nnamdi being on the pup list and, that sort of thing. But it came out, of course, that he has been cleared by doctors. So it looks like he's going to come back, right? It looks like he's going to play this season for the Ravens. His career is not over, much like we feared earlier in the offseason. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I just thought that Ravens fans maybe would have panicked a little bit over the pup news. But regardless, Alex, I want to know what you thought when you saw this news here. Nnamdi Madubuike is clear to return.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told us this, let's say week 9, week 10 of last year, we would have been over the moon thrilled because I know in my true heart, I was like, okay, he probably played his last down with us because of the lack of news, because of the news that was being given to us by the old regime, by the old head coach, hell, by the old defensive coordinator. We didn't know. They were all saying, well, we'll let Nnamdi talk. We'll let him. To be honest, we still haven't heard Nnamdi talk about it at all. Like, Nnamdi Madubuike has not said one word about this. Maybe a tweet here and there, but he has never come out and said what it was or even talked about it. So, once again, we were lied to. Surprise, surprise, by the old regime. And now we get the news saying he's been cleared by the team, which it's fantastic news. The fact that he's able to play another down in the NFL after the uncertainty of last year, it's a miracle. I'm not sure, what he really went through with the neck, but anytime you're around that area, it's very touchy. So I'm not sure when he'll be back. I know they say he can be practicing, how maybe next week or in a couple of weeks, but take your time. And if not ready for week 1, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. I think our first couple of weeks we can do without you. I'm not trying to be cocky, but let yourself get to 100% or as close as you can. But this is truly, to me, it's one of the it's not 100% a miracle, but it's definitely the news that makes you believe and makes you hope because good things do happen to good people. So I'm very happy for Mr. Madubuike. He's back, and it's really good for his morale. Like, you overcame something that probably a couple of doctors said you may never play again, but you say, you know what, I'm gonna play, and here we are. So very happy for Nnamdi.
Yeah, same. And to your point, I think it would be most beneficial to Nnamdi and to the team if he does take his time, take his sweet time, to be honest with you. And also, I mean, who's mad at a couple more reps for, albeit 39 years old, Calais Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
right, at that 3 tech position? You know what I mean? So I definitely think that Nnamdi should take his time. I mean, obviously, Ravens training camp starts on Wednesday. Officially, that's when there's the first full practice. However, I mean, if he's not, listen, I want him as close to 100% as possible. I'll just say that, right? Because if we can have him at full strength or near full strength, then this defensive line is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I truly do believe that. And I feel like the league is really underestimating what this defensive line can look like. Everybody's looking, the national media are really telling you right now, Alex, that, oh, yeah, their biggest offseason acquisition, Trey Hendrickson, that's going to be the catalyst to their defense excelling this season. But I disagree. Trey Hendrickson is but an accessory on this defense that was much needed, admittedly, but that interior pressure that you get from Nnamdi Madubuike and also a Travis Jones on on the interior, I mean, it's everything. It's everything, and we've seen what that combination does when those two are eating up space on the inside. They're shutting down the run, right? And then they're also getting after the passer too. I mean, both of these guys have led the team in sacks before. Like it's insane. You have two interior D linemen who have led the Ravens in sacks in 2 separate seasons. That is wild. So Nnamdi Madubuike, the fact that he is cleared to return, and I think we heard this news. If maybe I'm mistaken, Alex, but like maybe like a couple of months ago, I want to say like a month or 2 ago, there was some news that came out that said that he was, kind of good to go or like cleared or something like this. This isn't the first time we've heard about this, right, Alex?
Yeah, it was all signs reporting towards positive reports. It wasn't a done deal, but he was more than likely going to play. And it's now good that we have the full-on confirmation. You bring up, getting Nnamdi back. I think we have a defensive tackle, and no slight to Travis Jones. I think it was him who I watched couldn't catch up to Aaron Rodgers last year on a bootleg. Madubuike, we've seen hawk down Joe Burrow, who is now the fastest quarterback, in my opinion, in the division. Maybe Deshaun Watson, not sure what he has after his multiple season-ending I words, but we lack that from a defensive tackle. We would see quarterbacks scramble, get out of just tackles. I don't think that's going to happen with Nnamdi. Nnamdi gets back there, you're most likely getting on the ground or going to
Yeah.
get hawked down by this specimen of a defensive tackle who can beat you with power and also catch up to you with speed. So, not yet welcome back Nnamdi, but it's very, very soon. But it's probably the best news we as Ravens fans have gotten. Next up, we just need that Lamar extension. That's like the next news that can kind of take this one over for the best news we've heard over the offseason.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, Alex, that ain't happening until like after this next season.
Surprise me, who knows? It's that
I
hope.
know.
Where there's hope, there's delusion, and I'm delusional.
Sure, sure. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. As a Ravens degenerate myself, I'm also delusional at times. However, I think that Lamar stands very firm on his position right now. Hey, look, last season was a down season for all of us, right? So I'm not going to come to the negotiation table and let you guys tell me, hey, look, last year was a down year. We only want to pay you X when I want Y or Z. I'm going to bet on myself like I have done my entire career, like I've done my entire life, quite frankly, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what comes of that. We'll see what happens next season. So I think that's what's going on here. Okay. By the way, shout out to the live chat again. I see some members in the chat. Mike is in the chat. I see Tila, aka the moderator, Miss Mod. She's in the chat. Christian is in the chat as well. Another member. What's going on, Christian? Appreciate you for coming through. The chef, another member, is in the chat. What up? What up? What up? Appreciate all of y'all. Miss Fancy Pants, I see you. Another member in the house. And also, I want to give a special shout out to the replay gang as well. Replay gang, if you're not watching live right now, that's okay. All right, that's fine. It's cool. I still need you to like the video. If you're new, still need you to sub, right? If you're enjoying the content, if and only if you're enjoying the content, right? And yeah, so also another shout out to Stretch626, another member in the chat as well. Okay, so here we go. I think the next thing we wanted to get into, what I was gonna tell you, Alex, is that I think a Zay Flowers extension would happen much sooner than a Lamar Jackson extension.
Yeah.
And while getting on the topic of wide receivers, I did want to bring up another signing that happened, something that happened over the weekend here. You had former Ravens draft pick Chris Moore re-signing with the team. And I want to go ahead and bring this up here on the screen because this kind of shocked a lot of people. Right, in a world where a lot of Ravens fans were looking for, okay, where's the Stephon Diggs signing, or where's the, are we going to go for a Deebo Samuel or whoever, right? But they say no. The Ravens say no. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sign Chris Moore. And my initial reaction to it, Alex, just really quick, was that this is probably going to be a camp body type move / special teams type move, that sort of thing. I don't really see him having like any real prevalent role in this pass catching unit. So I wanted to ask you first, before we get into the other half of this story, which is the whole Stephon Diggs and not being interested in all of those other names. What did you think about Chris Moore signing with the Ravens?
I mean, it just shows, they're rounding out their receiving core. He will be the gunner. He could be a kick returner, which we've seen him do in his previous stint in Baltimore. But it kind of just shut the door on any veteran receiver joining. I think they're fine with the young guys, and Tez Walker now has a chance to kind of take that 3 and then maybe the 2. But Chris Moore, I think he had 207 yards last year on 11 receptions with the Commanders. Their season was over when Jane Daniels got hurt again, so I can't really take those stats with a lot of just I can't take that. But yeah, he'll be a receiver 5, receiver 6, and I doubt he'll have more than 5 catches. But he'll come in, he'll work hard. We know that as Ravens fans. He'll make a play, who knows, here and there. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I love it because it's a receiver 6. I'm not gonna sit here and overreact to it. And D. Ross here says Who has it better than us? That's no longer a question that we have to say anymore or ask. So you can take that to a New York Giants podcast and ask them that, and see how that's going over there. But right now we're doing pretty good, and I'll take that. But Chris Moore, yeah, I'm not going to let it ruin my day or let it get too hyped up over it. It's a signing. It's that's what we've done the past couple of days. We'll get into the other signing. What are we supposed to do? Like, what is that? Is that moving our needle closer to Super Bowl? I don't think so. It's just when it's the second and third preseason game, and you have Jacoby Lane and Surratt sitting. Now it's Dayton Wade, maybe LeJontay Wester. I know they've liked him, what they've seen. Chris Moore, and then a UDFA guy. Like, you need guys to take up snaps, and this could be one of them.
Yeah, I know. I agree. It's again camp body, preseason body. Like you mentioned, you need somebody when some of those other guys are going to be sitting. Somebody to step up and just take some of those reps. So that's probably what it will be. Chris Moore, again, like I mentioned, was drafted by the Ravens. I think 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw somebody make an interesting tweet about Chris Moore. They said that you know. How do you get grandfathered into a position that you haven't been largely productive in for 10 years? You know what I mean? Like it's just he's had his best year was like the 1 year in Houston a couple of seasons ago or something like that. But right,
Put up 548 yards. You know, I respect it. I mean, it goes to show he's a good football player. He's a good teammate. 10 years in the NFL is something that you can. I mean, not a lot of players can say I've played a decade in the NFL.
that's true.
So
That's
he
true.
must be doing something right. I mean, there's guys like even James Prochet's in the league still. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
Chandler
hard
Gray. Shout
workers.
out to
They
Chandler
show
Gray.
up. I mean, they have a team. They have a spot on the team. And Chris Moore, I mean, he went from being a special teams guy. Then he had 200 some yards with us and 100. Then he did nothing, and then went to Houston. Kind of had his a career revived, and now he's just been bouncing around. Good on him.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll stick around here. Who knows? Because we could have a kick returning spot open up.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Now I want to get to the second part of this story here.
Yes.
So
Yes.
apparently Baltimore, the Ravens, believes in Zay Flowers and expects a Rashad Bateman bounce back, as do I, and wants its young wide receivers to earn opportunities. Okay, so this was reported by Jeff Zrebeck again. Shout out to Jeff Z. But what do you make of that, Alex? Do you think that this Ravens team, they're just kind of leaving some stuff on the table here by not going out and aggressively pursuing another vet wide receiver, or what? What are you thinking here? Void, appreciate the jewels.
Of course, that pops up. Like I said, I think I said it months ago. What I heard, Diggs was never coming to Baltimore, and I
Yeah,
stood on that. It's the Commanders or Chargers, I feel like, or maybe the Dolphins or another team. It's not gonna be the Ravens. We didn't match with him. He didn't match with us. I would have liked it, but it wasn't gonna happen. Keenan Allen makes a lot more sense. D Hop makes a lot more sense.
hmm,
I feel like they're gambling right now because we've seen this happen where we have a proven guy, and we have a bunch of guys below them that haven't shown it. Albeit that was with Greg Roman in 2021. It was you had, actually 2020 because you had Hollywood and you had Boykin, Proche, Duvernay, and it was basically Hollywood to the point where you had to bring in Des Bryant because nobody else was getting it done. This is a different, offensive coordinator. I trust Declan Doyle, trust Bateman, but I don't put me in the book. Don't put me in the book, but I just gotta give you facts. I just gotta give you facts.
all right.
Chris Moore had 17 less reception yards than Bateman last year. All right, and that to me is like I could have used somebody else in this offensive receiving core. I
I know
could have.
you did not just compare Chris Moore to Rashad Bateman.
I'm not. I did actually. I did. Numbers don't lie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't put me in the book. Don't put me in the book. But it's the facts. So I would like somebody else. But I believe in number 7. I do believe, and I should. I'm hearing the coaches rave about him. Hearing the GM rave about him. We signed him to 2 different extensions. But I would have liked another veteran guy like a D Hop or Keenan Allen in this offense. But you know what? Prove me wrong. Tez Walker, prove me wrong. Trust the 2 young guys. Let me see some production out, y'all.
Yes, I tend to agree when people say that there's a lot of question marks in this wide receiver room. However, I would contest that argument by saying this: if you have a clear wide receiver one And I know I've made this argument before, but let me take it in a slightly different direction this time. If you have a wide receiver one in Zay Flowers, why do you need, especially if you are a run-focused and defensive team, that's just the identity of the Ravens. I don't think that's really going to change too much under Jesse Minter. Why do you necessarily need a wide receiver two that's going to knock your socks off? You just don't need that. I don't understand. I don't understand that, Alex. I mean, you look at some of the top teams in the league. Not a lot of teams have crazy wide receiver 1 and 2 duos. Not a whole lot of them. As a matter of fact, the teams that tend to win a lot of Super Bowls, they normally have one dominant one. And then after that, it's a lot of guys. Like last year, you had JSN was the clear one, and they had Cooper Kupp, right, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Seahawks. But
they traded to get Rashid Shaheed mid-season, who
they did
made some big plays.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm asking our general manager at the trade deadline, if there's a glaring weakness, throw a pick or two. And we saw it almost happen with Derrick Henry. But there's been times where I feel like we can upgrade a position, and we hear talks and talks and talks, and it doesn't happen. And we sign a guy like Carl Lawson. No disrespect, but what did he do for us last year in the edge room?
Not a damn
I think me
thing.
and you had the same amount of tackles as him.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Yeah. No, I mean, I never, when we talk about Stephon Diggs, like apparently, again, there was no interest in Stephon Diggs from the Ravens. I never had any interest in Stephon Diggs because of the off-field stuff, and I just felt like that wasn't something that needed to be injected into this locker room, who was going through wholesale changes, right, in terms of like coaching staff is a totally new regime. Like I just didn't think that was something that was necessary, you know, especially if he's not going to get, because listen, I said it a couple weeks ago, Stephon Diggs last year with the Patriots, he was averaging 6 targets a game. That's the same amount of targets a game that Zay Flowers was demanding last year in 2025 season, right? So he's not going to get that here because the Ravens wide receiver one is Zay Flowers. So who's to say that like he doesn't get frustrated that he's not getting the ball? He's instead of getting 6 targets a game, now he's only getting 3 targets a game, or God forbid 2, right? He was going through the Bateman thing from last year. He'd be pissed. He'd be pissed. And he's got that like kind of diva in him. And you know what, Alex? I wanna talk about Rashad Bateman really quick, because I've figured out, I think, what a lot of people's beef is with Rashad Bateman. I think I've gotten to the bottom of it, Alex. I think what it really is the fact that not only is it that he hasn't shown consistent production, you know, whether it been because of him being hurt the first couple of years of his career, or maybe he's just kind of down the totem pole on the pass catching list, whatever it may be. But I think the real reason that people have some disdain for Rashad Bateman is because he doesn't fit what a wide receiver personality-wise should do. For example, like he doesn't have like really like an ounce of wide receiver diva in him, right? I've heard a lot of people criticize Rashad Bateman for not demanding the ball, for not fighting back, for not like stepping up and like standing out and things like that. Like certain wide receivers in history, or wide receiver ones that is, have tended to do. And that I understand, you know, took a very modest contract, right? Doesn't really say too much during the season, that sort of thing. Then you had the whole thing earlier in this offseason with his page getting quote unquote hacked, whatever. You know, it wasn't pretty. It didn't look good. But I do believe in, and here's why I shift the argument. I do believe in new coaching bringing the game out of certain players, right? You've seen it happen before. Like, for example, and I know this is on the other side of the football, but Odafe Owe going to LA last season, you know, in 6 games with the Ravens, had no sacks. Then he goes to LA, and on a short season with LA under different coaching, he has at the end of the day had more sacks than he had ever gotten in a single season with the Ravens. Am I right, Alex?
Correct.
Yeah. So like, I mean, coaching matters. And I feel like with this new coaching staff, with Declan Doyle coming from an offensive tree, right? With Jesse Minter, probably one of the most innovative and young phenom type of minds in the NFL right now. This team, man, this offense, and I definitely think this receiving core is going to benefit from that. You're going to see guys like Rashad Bateman step up. You're going to see guys like Tez Walker, like I mentioned last week, guys like him step up as well. And I think Zay Flowers only continues to ascend too. So I think the sky's the limit for this receiving core. I'm fine with not pursuing Diggs. I mean, Chris Morgan, camp / preseason body, whatever. It's a mess signing, right? But I'm fine with the receiving core that we have right now. I am. Let me see. Franco, appreciate the sub.
Yeah, and like we said, Chris Moore, he'll play gunner if he makes a team, which I wholeheartedly expect him to. He can return kicks because now are we gonna have Justice Hill return kicks? Because no, I wouldn't. He's your number 2 running back. If he were to go down, it's not like Keaton Mitchell's behind him. I like Adam Randall, but you got to keep Justice healthy for the pass blocking aspect. LeJontay Wester, he can take back punts. We didn't see him much on the kickoff returns. I mean, Chris Moore can make himself useful in many different ways, mostly coming in special teams. I think it was Spicer Rice saying, we lost Tylan Wallace. Like, that was our special teams guy. He was always down there, down to the ball at the 1. I mean, you can name multiple times when Tylan was the first one down there, down the ball inside the 5, inside the 10. We need somebody for that. As for the Chief, I think Bateman has a little bit of diva in him. You mentioned the whole hack and stuff. Got a Finsta. All right, I'm a fan of his. I am. I want to see him do well. I know he will clap back sometimes, but he's not the diva like we saw like a Michael Thomas. Like when I think of diva, like this guy would go on Twitter after a game and just start posting just the most cryptic tweets you've ever seen in your life. He doesn't have that in him, but he has a little bit. I guess we talked about this, but what is to you a successful season for him? I mean, you got to think about for Rashad. Take the run game into account. Take Zay Flowers targets into account. If he posted this, and this, that's being receptions, yards, touchdowns, to you, what is a successful season?
It's a good question, Alex. I mean, I'd say for Rashad Bateman this season, taking into account Ravens being run first, I still think it's going to be Derrick Henry as the engine of that offense that sparks everything else. In the interior of that O-line, of course. Zay Flowers is going to be the wide receiver 1. I think Mark Andrews sees a lot of targets this year that are devoid from Isaiah Likely leaving the team. Rashad Bateman, if I'm being realistic with you, I'll say I'd give him about 700 yards. And I know it's like, how can you guys, like Sutton, how can you believe so much in Rashad Bateman if you only think he's going to get 700 yards? I'm just being realistic with where, with how this team is set up and where they're going to run their offense through primarily, right? Rashad Bateman is firmly a wide receiver 2 at this point in his career. Nobody's debating that. A lot of you guys have been trying to argue me down on why Rashad Bateman is not a wide receiver 2. He is squarely that, right? But I think that 700 yards, and I'd go 8 touchdowns. 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. Realistically, that's what I think would be considered like a successful, like, hey, look, like this guy has some value on our squad, right? If he can score touchdowns, if he can continue to be a red zone threat, right, routing guys up when you get down low in the red zone and getting in the end zone and scoring, that's valuable, right? You don't have a whole lot of guys right now outside of Mark Andrews. Who do you know on this team is a legitimate red zone threat, Alex? Like outside of Mark Andrews, there's no one.
Yeah, in the passing game, and I just wanted to ask you that because like it feels like it's always like you against the chat with Bateman, like just having like a real like no purple glasses on.
Yeah.
And you make a great point because he had 45 for 750 and 24. That was alongside Derrick Henry putting up damn near 2,000 rushing yards and Zay putting up 1,000. So you saying 700 to me isn't crazy. For me, I was thinking maybe you give me 45 to 50 receptions in that 600 to 700 range and like 7 to 8 touchdowns. I feel like that's a great compliment to Zay, who's probably going to put up another 1,000 yards, maybe 5 to 6 touchdowns. I hope maybe 7 to 8, But Derrick Henry's going to put up minimum 1,500. And that's me being fair, especially with this new O-line. And he'll probably have, double-digit touchdowns again, you say, for Derrick Henry? Probably 12, 13?
Yeah, probably about 13,
So,
I'd say.
If they can be that bread and butter, that complement to each other, 4 and 7, that's all I'm asking for. You know, Zay and Bacon gets down the field, Bacon gets in the end zone, and he becomes that threat that we saw him. I mean, for Pete's sake, we drove down the field in Buffalo. I mean, in Buffalo we went in there with Bateman, Steven Sims, Anthony Miller,
Anthony Miller, yeah.
and Dan Merrick walked out of Buffalo with the win. So if you can get me that again, alongside with Zay, who let's just pray he's healthy when it comes January time. Fingers crossed we're in there in the dance in January. That's a good season. I feel like you're outplaying you're playing to your contract, maybe outplaying it if you put up 750 and 8 touchdowns and making 30 some million over 3 years. Because look at the way receivers are getting contracts now for less production.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy market. So I'm cool with that, and I think that's a fair assessment. And I'm glad we all had that conversation without any slander thrown.
Oh, there's always going to be slander thrown at me for
Like
supporting.
you said, realistic, no hate for everybody in the chat. It's everybody, not just you.
There's always going to be some slander, some smut thrown on my name, Alex, for me supporting our guy, Rashad Bateman. But it's all good, man. I can't wait. There's so many people in my book here. It's all good because when the season comes, you guys already know what it is. You got to stay on that side. You got to stay on that side. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here, Alex, to the next topic of the show. So the other day, there was another signing. It wasn't just Chris Moore, right? You had the Ravens signing actually another offensive lineman. And this was a guy who, I'm going to be honest with you, I had never heard of. Don't know him from a can of paint, okay? But the Ravens signed offensive lineman Hakeem Adeniji to kind of, I guess, be another camp body. I would presume, right? Another camp body, another guy for preseason to rotate in and out. Or do you share the same assessment? What did you think about this one?
He told me to pick him out of a lineup. I'm failing. 1 in 5, I got a 20% chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't sit here and study the linemen. I'm never gonna say I do. Receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, skill positions, I back myself. Linemen, I'm no use. No one's.
Yeah, man. I mean, shout out to the big uglies. But it just is what it is, man. I don't really know this guy. Again, sorry to that man. Anywho, yeah.
Well, I see real quick the Bengal fans saying the best lineman they had in the Super Bowl. Congrats, you were the shiniest turd. You know what I mean? Like that line did nothing for you in the Super Bowl. It cost you a Super Bowl, to be honest. It's 4th down and Burrow has Chase open, except here comes Aaron Donald. I don't know, but depth once again. I mean, you can never have enough linemen. So what if he shows out, and what if we have a good 6th man, along with Andrew Voorhees and the young guy we drafted. Thank you, Frieza, for the sparkles. That's probably the best case scenario. He makes the roster and he comes in when we're blowing somebody out, and Tyler Huntley's in that quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to it, right, Alex? Kind of a one of those like nothing burger type of signings. It's the season for that. I said that on the last episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Like it's the can't body signing season. We're just gonna get a couple of extra guys in just to kind of get through camp. So it is what it is. But extra O-line help at the end of the day, not a bad thing. Never a bad thing. Again, shout out to the live chat. Shout out to the live chat. Big shout out to the live chat. I was looking at one of the comments here. Okay. Let me see. Let me bring it up. Let me see. First of all, like the video. Subscribe if you are new. What up, Tila? Ravens Lover says, get another wide receiver too who can get those numbers.
The only one out there I feel like that can give you those numbers is going to ask for maybe double digits, but also come with the headache of Stephon Diggs. I don't think Ian Allen will give you that. I don't think he'll play 17 games. D-Hop might get you 400 or 500, couple of touchdowns, but your quarterback has to be very accurate. I'll tell you that, because Lamar was putting those balls in places only D-Hop could catch them, and D-Hop was coming down with them.
That's a fact. By the way, over 118 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Shout out to y'all. Again, be sure to like the video. Replay gang, shout out to you as well. J Vision 23 says here in the chat, Alex, we were cooking up some great plays for Rashad Bateman in 2024, I must admit. That final touchdown against the Bengals when Lamar did the follow-through hand motion was great. Yes, I remember that on Thursday Night Football, man. That kind of like you know, hand in the cup. That was tough. That was tough. I loved that. And it felt like Rashad Bateman kind of learned how to play with Lamar Jackson a
Mhm.
little bit more. Like you could tell, like he wasn't giving up on routes. Listen, I don't know what the hell happened in 2025.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I do know what happened. There were a lot of circumstances. Offensive line was banged up. Lamar was banged up. Team, for lack of better words, kind of quit on Harbaugh. Nobody was on the same page. All of that, and it trickled down to Rashad Bateman having his worst season. One of his
Yeah.
worst seasons. It is what it is. But in that 2024 season, when things were the ship was a little bit more steady, you saw that Rashad Bateman he was thriving. So I fully expect this coaching staff to be able to bring that right back out of him. And like I said before, I'm going to make a lot of money betting on Rashad Bateman overs when the season starts for sure.
Yeah, he put Cam Taylor Britt into a blender. Happened right in front of me. Don't think Buddy ever got his ankles back to this day. But it felt like you said, it felt like he learned how to play with Lamar. He was, when the route wasn't there, he was coming to the ball. He was going towards the way Lamar was running. So, Lamar could make a throw to him. We didn't see that last year. And there's many different reasons. And I hate pulling this up, but confidence, I think, is a big one of them. If you're dropping the ball, like that's definitely going to be in your head. You're going to be in your own head. And I hate using it as an excuse, but it definitely can be attributed to why he probably only had 200 and some yards last year. Now, with the whole fresh new slate, you can kind of throw whatever last year was out the window, and that's this year. So let's see what you have. And I think, come week one, a touchdown for him in week one will probably be the best case scenario for this Ravens offense. Out of anybody to pick to have a touchdown in week one, if it could be Bateman, it
It'll
goes so
probably
all
be
right.
it'll probably be plus 1,000.
You
You
think?
think?
I think like maybe 300 to 400 plus 1,000.
Really?
Maybe like Hibner or Cuevas maybe up there, but
Okay. Yeah.
more so. Yeah, if Bateman could get one week one, it's like all right. Well, now we have to defend him in the red zone, which now opens up Mark Andrews, who I think could lead this team in reception touchdowns. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he goes back to that. But even though I'm actually looking forward to see the whole the NFL top 100 list, like what tight ends go in this list. I know it's not gonna be Mark Andrews, but like who's better than him, and even the ESPN list. And this kind of can rear into our next topic, the whole 99 club.
Hmm.
Listen,
Yeah.
Trey McBride, a fantastic tight end. I just feel like we're giving 99s just after maybe one or two good seasons.
Oh
See,
yeah, we're giving them out.
99 to me was like the best of the best. Getting a 99 was rare. It was either Peyton or Tom. It'd be the best lineman in the league, and then a receiver who put up insanely crazy numbers. It was maybe three guys max, four guys. We're talking seven and two quarterbacks. Only one quarterback to make me 99. Can't have two 99 quarterbacks.
And these quarterbacks aren't 99 caliber. Like
Mm.
they didn't. I mean, Matthew Stafford, if you want to put him as a 99, I guess sure, right? But like, what I would love to see like the entire stat list, or the rating list for like these individual players. Like, okay, what is his accuracy at? What is his throwing power at? What is his, whatever it is? Because like I feel like they're overrating some of these guys in some of those categories. It's just got to be that. Josh Allen, step into my office
Mm. Mm.
because last I remember, Josh Allen and JD with the super chat donation. And I'll get to that in just a second here. Thank you, JD. But last I remember, Josh Allen in a playoff tournament that did not include Patrick Mahomes, his boogeyman, Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and also Joe Burrow. Didn't include any of those guys. He was in a tournament with kids. And he had four turnovers. Four turnovers in a playoff loss in the divisional round to the Denver Broncos. Could have been five, but four turnovers total.
Mm.
I think that what we're doing here is trying to enforce Josh Allen as the face of the NFL. You're going to see it. He's going to be the number one. If he's number one on the top 100 list over Myles Garrett, we need to start doing some investigating. I'm just saying that because we cannot rewrite history, Alex. We have to go off of what we last saw. And what we last saw was not a 99 overall performance from Josh Allen. It just wasn't. And I don't want to bring up Lamar Jackson, but damn it, I'll do it. This is a Ravens podcast. They would never rate Lamar Jackson a 99 in Madden after his last performance was a 4-turnover playoff loss. They would never. Matthew Stafford, it's like, okay, he won the MVP last season. All right? He won the MVP. He had a great year after we all thought that his back was going to give him major problems. It didn't. Okay? He lasted most, if not all, the season. But Josh Allen is just absurd. I'd give him maybe like a 97, maybe a 98, but 99, like you mentioned, they're just kind of giving him out. And Trey McBride,
Fantastic tight end, don't get me wrong. Top 2 in the league.
what are we doing?
But a 99 is crazy.
What are we doing? What were Trey McBride's stats last year? Didn't he have kind of like a down year?
He put up crazy stats, but at the same time, they were playing from behind every
Or I
game.
might be thinking, I might be thinking about somebody.
Bowers had a down year. He put up
Yeah, that's right.
1,200 yards, 126 receptions.
Yeah,
11 touchdowns.
That's
Averaging
nice.
less than 10 yards a catch.
That's nice. On the Cardinals, I mean, that's nice. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Michael Wilson put up 1,000 yards. Like, they were playing from behind every single game. Now, go into this. I'm going to agree with you with this Josh Allen thing. Thankfully, you are right. They gave Lamar 99 after a 3-turnover game against the Titans in 2019. But it's different. He won MVP. He was by far the best player in that last NFL season. Josh Allen. It does feel like they're trying to make him the face of the league. It feels like they are pushing his whole marriage. I see him on commercials. I walk down the freezer aisle. Why the hell is Josh Allen on a Snickers freaking ice cream box? You know what I mean? But I'm not buying it. I've always been a Twix guy, first off. So Snickers, sayonara.
Wait, and this was where?
It was at the grocery store.
It like in the Baltimore area?
Yes.
Oh, they've got some nerve, don't
Yes.
they? What in the hell?
Yes.
Hell no. I mean, that's just like stupid mark. Like, who thought of that?
I'm not buying it.
Who greenlit
Not me.
that? Like, yeah.
Just put a
That's
plain
crazy.
box. Don't even put him on there. And I go on X and I see Bills fans. And listen, they're sitting here saying because of one hit tweet, and you know what tweet I'm talking about Josh Allen with the dog pissing everywhere. They're saying
I actually don't. I've never seen that tweet.
it got 16 million impressions.
Jeez.
I'll send it to you and you can pull it up on the stream because
Yeah,
it went mainstream.
Okay.
I see Bills fans saying, see, we told you the media hates Josh Allen. Because a Ravens fan is the media for putting a tweet out. Because I see the media call interceptions arm punts. I see the media say, because he deserves it. Because Lamar's won it before.
It's his turn.
2 times. It's his turn. It's his turn to be valedictorian, right? Look at yourselves. But his GPA was only a 3.5, and he had a 4.2. Weighted, of course. I just don't get it. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, should any quarterback be 99 after last season? Because you can make a case for the best quarterback in the league. There was no standalone best quarterback, Matt Stafford stat-wise, but people can make the argument for Josh Allen and for this guy and for that guy.
Yeah.
If anybody deserves it, Stafford, but even then, I don't know how he's a 99. And if he should be a 99, it should happen 2021, when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with that. At this point, should he be a 99 just based off of his because isn't it a stat in Madden for like how likely you are to get hurt?
I believe so. And sorry, 19 million impressions on this tweet. I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I just think that Matthew Stafford in his old age, it's kind of I feel like Father Time is gonna come knocking at the door eventually, and that'll be for the Rams. The only because look, everybody's predicting the Rams to not only go to the Super Bowl but win the Super Bowl this year. Like they are the favorite. I mean, the conversation right now is Rams or the field. But I think that one thing that we're not talking about is the fact that Matthew Stafford is one of these quarterbacks who, has a history of I words, right? And then also is going into year. How old is Matthew Stafford? Like he's got to be
I think
40.
I think 41. I want to say
Yeah, like he's getting up there, man. He's getting up there. I just think that with quarterbacks, especially in this league, where
38. Sorry,
oh, he's
38.
38. Oh, okay. Oh, so he's not 40
Good
yet.
for
He's not
him.
40 yet. Good, yeah, good for him. Damn, it feels like Matthew Stafford should be 40 plus now. All those years in Detroit, and now he's been in LA for a while. It feels like he should be. But wow, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
we saw
guess
him grow
he's
up. Like I remember
yeah,
seeing him like young, a little curly hair,
yeah.
fighting his ass off the lines just to get 3 wins.
Remember when he blew out his shoulder and then
Yep.
threw a touchdown pass? Yeah, man. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he's always been really really good. Of course, his talent was kind of undersold with Detroit, and it is more highlighted in LA. But I still don't believe that he is a 99. Like a 99 quarterback for me is like somebody who can do everything. You're telling me that
Mhm.
Matthew Stafford is just that great of a thrower of the football that like even though he's a stationary quarterback, even though he doesn't really offer anything other than, pocket presence and being able to get the ball where he needs to on the field. A 99? It's just okay. It feels like we're handing him out. Anybody else on here that doesn't deserve it? Miles Garrett definitely
Yep.
deserves it.
Yep.
Totally. Jamar Chase, I think deserves it as well. It's like maybe I'd go 98 for Chase, but I'm not mad at a 99 for Jamar Chase. I'm really
Chase
not.
is a literal creative player. He's big,
Yeah.
he's tall, he's fast, jump ball, got it, can run routes, got it. He
Run
can
after the
do it all.
catch. Yeah.
Right. He can do it all. He'll catch, make 1 man, 2 man miss, gone. He has the acceleration. JSN not gonna be mad at it at all. Unreal year. I think
Had a
if
great
you
year.
like if I had to pick, it'd be Garrett, JSN, Chase, and then maybe Stafford. But going to Stafford, I'll tell you this: like I don't think I really recognize how good he was because before the days of streaming, I think the only Lions game I would watch was the early Thanksgiving game because they never were on prime time, never. And this is before I can go on to Red Zone or on my computer or go on to a streaming website and watch them. Like now, it's like I'm watching. All right, like I was missing a lot. You can go back and watch highlights, but I never really would ever watch the Lions like in the early
Yeah.
2010s. Why would you?
Yeah, you don't really
Calvin
have a
Johnson,
reason
you
to.
had that was
Yeah.
about it. Or if the Ravens played him.
Pretty much. I do want to bring up the super chat donation here from JD. Thank you so much,
Yes.
JD, dropping the
Yes.
5 piece in the chat. I didn't want to forget about you here. I'm cool with the wide receiving core as long as we upgrade at the deadline. Brian Thomas Jr., George Pickens, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison Jr., etc. are some guys that could be available. You know, I think that Eric DaCosta, with what he said a couple of weeks ago on 105.7 The Fan, and talking about how, like, as a GM, like the best part of the year is the off season because that's when I get the most, influence and stuff like that on the team. But during the season, after the trade deadline, you just kind of have to step back and watch it just like you're a fan if you're Eric DaCosta, the GM. And I think that with him going out and immediately after saying that, addressing the center position and getting Ethan Pochich, which is something that we all knew was probably the biggest hole on this team. I think you can argue it's something else now. Um, I think that means that we're going to go into this season. If we don't end up signing another vet guy, whoever it is, right? Which obviously now it doesn't look like we will. I think they'll go into the season and just see what they got. Hey, Zay's our one, right? If Bateman steps up, great. Then we don't need to pursue any other wide receivers. And especially if one of those younger guys, those rookies step up, even better, you know? But if they don't, and it's really only Zay carrying the load in that wide receiver room, then I do think that before the trade deadline, they'll probably try to aggressively pursue somebody, especially if the Ravens are competitive near the trade deadline. Because when is the trade deadline? Like, what week is that normally, Alex? Isn't it like week
I
what? Like
feel like it
maybe
got
like
pushed back
12 or
for this
something?
year. It was always around like Halloween or the week after Halloween.
Yeah.
The deadline this year is at November 10th,
Okay.
2026 at 4 p.m.
Okay.
The Tuesday.
So a little bit like right before pretty much Thanksgiving, like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, pretty much.
And Google brings up the edge watch list, like the early watch list for trade targets is Kyle Pitts and Max Crosby. Already.
Wow.
Already starting. There'll
Yeah.
probably be the names. I think the
But
Falcons
but
won't
Kyle
forget that
Pitts, who
name.
just signed the,
Oh yeah,
they
he
just
did just
signed him.
sign.
Yeah.
He did just sign. Well, Max Crosby for sure,
Crosby. Yeah, I can see
definitely.
Crosby. But no, yeah, I mean, so pretty much like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I think that's a good amount of time, Alex, to see what you have in
Mhm.
this wide receiver room. I mean, season starts in September. You've got a couple months, literally, to see what you've got in this wide receiver room. So I think that's probably where they will approach it from. You know, to see what they have now, and then once the trade deadline nears, they'll see if they can add some help if need be. So I'm not mad at that, JD. I'm not mad at that.
I think the most interesting name there is Marvin Harrison Jr. I know he's had troubles, had drops. Like he could definitely be a guy. Give up maybe a third for, and he can come in. You have under team contract for a bit, and that's unless the younger guys don't work out. Maybe one of our top two isn't having the season we expect them to have. But there's some guys that will be available. BTJ as well. I think there's rumors he might get traded this offseason. That's not going to happen. Maybe at the trade deadline. That was my thing. I want EDC to be a little bit more aggressive at the trade deadline. Like I said, Rashid Shaheed went for a fourth and a fifth. And what does he do? Takes the opening kickoff back in a playoff game. Has multiple deep ball touchdowns. They needed that deep ball threat in that offense. Their GM went out and got him. So EDC, if you see there's that one guy there that can add a trait to this team that we don't have, go for it. F them picks. If you think you can win it, F them picks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, just be aggressive. Be aggressive at the trade deadline. That will be, I think, honestly, because we've seen it in years past where they go out and maybe they get an edge rusher or somebody like that. But if they go out and they get a wide receiver, that would be interesting, especially towards the end of the season. I do want to get into, Alex, this other news that came out from the Buffalo Bills earlier today. Apparently, they released some new jerseys. They got some new jerseys heading into this season. I guess these are their new alternates. Yes, Ari Myrov reports here that the Bills have unveiled a new alternate uniform for the 2026 NFL season, and here it is. I mean, to be honest with you, Alex, I didn't know what to think about these. I low key think that they're trash. To be honest with you, like the helmet is disgusting me. Just like looking at it, it looks like, I mean, it looks like the most like lazy minimalist. Like what are we doing here? You know what I mean? I don't like these. And then the
As
gray, like what are we doing?
as a uniform aficionado, these are awful.
Yeah.
These are I tweeted. It looks like an Arena Football League jersey. If you haven't watched, um, just take a look. It looks like it was made not by Nike, by some store you can get, a couple streets over. They'll make you a jersey. They'll get you, the more you buy, the less it'll be. And that's what this looks like. It is awful. This is like what they start you off with in like an ultimate team. This is the base uniform. It's not good.
Yeah.
The
That's
gray,
that's a good point.
like the gray, that doesn't move me. That should be maybe red and blue to pop it out. It just looks like a gray uniform just slapped on. There's the Bills colors, and here's this helmet that we put no design into. It's awful. And I'm not
Yeah.
really. I usually like the new uniforms. This is poor, man. This is really bad.
It's like when, like you mentioned, like when you start like one of those sports games as a creative player and like you have no VC, no virtual
Yeah,
currency, you know what I mean? Like you're just like mad
you're
standard.
in the brown shirt and the gray
Yeah,
joggers
exactly.
and the 2K shoes.
Yeah,
That's
this is this
literally
is
what
this is the
this
starter
is.
kit. This is the starter kit right here, man. I mean, I just don't. Okay, I mean, it's like let me look through some of the other pictures really quick. We can take a look. Um,
Damn,
who is
Dawkins.
it? Deion Dawkins. Yeah,
Why does he have a ball in his hand?
I don't even know why they picked him for this photo shoot. To be honest with you, he's not making the jersey look any better, like at all. Not gonna lie to you. But the thing that's really throwing me off, Alex, is the fact that you have the actual Bills logo on the chest plate here, but on the helmet, it's like this weird. Like, what is that? You're telling me that's a buffalo? Like, what? Wait, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
genuinely?
They just should have went with the throwbacks. Like when Marshawn Lynch was there, like when Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback. That would have been better than whatever this glob of shit is. Pardon my
This is
French.
terrible.
This is
This is horrible. Like,
yeah. This is
wow.
bad.
If I'm a Bills fan, I'm not, chomping at the bit to see them play with the, because you know they're gonna wear them in prime time. Alternate unis are gonna wear them in prime time, and I hope they get smashed. I hope they get thrashed. Whoever they play in prime time, we don't play them in prime. We play them at 1 p.m. I want to
I'm
say.
about to. I think it's 1 o'clock. It's a
Yeah,
one
I'm pretty
o'clock
sure we
game.
play them 1 p.m. Yeah. So they won't wear them against us, but
Yeah, this is bad. They'll.
yeah, I don't.
You know they're gonna pull this out against probably like the Patriots Sunday Night Football.
Oh, they
Yeah,
play them on SNF this year.
I think that's one of their.
'Cause I think they did last season. I think they played them on
Yeah,
Sunday
because
Night
that was
Football
like the
last season.
whiteout game.
Yeah, it
They
was.
play the Lions. Is that at home? It is. They play the Lions at home. They could pull
Okay.
them out there,
Yeah,
but I'm not feeling this.
not at all. Not at all.
And the
Um,
Chiefs. Of course, they play the Chiefs on prime time at home.
yeah, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for
Yeah,
me, all around, all around. But hey, look, more power to him, I guess, right?
it makes me a little bit more appreciative of what we got. Obviously, it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm just not. I'm not feeling this.
So here's a little explanation on it, Alex. In terms of the helmet, it says the charge helmet. I know it's kind of small on the screen, but I'll read it to you guys. Bringing the charging buffalo to life with the horn, eye, and charge streak displayed on a blue shell with a micro metallic flake finish and metallic blue accents, boasting a mindset of energy, strength, and attack. Cool story, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
I
don't care.
guess. Right?
Didn't ask.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Like, and
that's.
they had the nerve to change their look. They changed their profile picture as well, and it's like, okay,
They thought they did something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I look.
Change that bio, by the way. Change that bio.
What about
God, they're
say?
so cringe.
Do good.
Oh
God
my.
bless and go Bills. 2024 NFL MVP Josh Allen.
You can always tell when a team
Fraudulent
has.
MVP, by the
You can
way.
tell when a team's never won anything by the way they act. Like when
Yeah.
teams like when the Bengals beat us, it's their Super Bowl. When the Bills beat us, they don't know what it's like. You think the Ravens putting some stuff like that? 2023 MVP. Oh,
2024 NFL MVP Josh Allen. Wait, when's the last time the Bills won a Super Bowl?
never lost four.
That's
Lost four in a row.
right. Yeah.
Crazy stat.
That's I can only imagine the trauma that comes with being a part of a fan base that has never won a Super Bowl. I can only imagine. Daniel Jones news. Daniel Jones. Let's get into that, Alex. So it was reported today that Daniel Jones is fully cleared from the torn Achilles he suffered in December, and he will be on the field for the start of training camp this week. Now, for a lot of you Ravens fans out there, you might be wondering, how is this relevant to the Ravens? Well, it's because the Ravens play the Colts week 1. And for a while now, we've been kind of wondering, okay, is Daniel Jones going to start in that game, or are we going to see Anthony Richardson? And it's looking like it's going to be Danny Dimes. He's going to be back. What do you make of this, Alex?
Good. I think we both want them out there because we called them out rightfully for what they were last year, fraudulent. When JT isn't having a good day, Daniel Jones doesn't scare me. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Green, Calais Campbell, Travis Jones, Zion Young, Tavius Robinson. Please make his day a living hell. Hey, if Nnamdi Madubuike is ready, which he might not be, but I'm going to throw your name in there just in case. Get to him, make his day a living hell. Have him throw a couple of picks because we know what we want us to get at that pick level. We hit the 11 that we had last year before, maybe week 12. Let's get 2 or 3 come week 1. But good news for us, I feel like. I'm happy he's back. It sucked he got that I word last year because he was having a good year. The Colts were rocking with him. They were the 1 seed at a point. Fell from grace, which we expected. But like Pat McAfee says, the number 1 offense in the NFL last year for the first 10 weeks. Cool. So, all right. Well, we'll see that come week 1. But Jesse Minter, I know he'll be ready. Those boys will be fired up. I think seeing this defense, how fired up they are coming off the sideline week 1 is going to show you, it's going to get me excited, I feel like. They'll be jumping up and down ready to get out there and just finally hit somebody that isn't in purple and black, and I'm ready for it. I really am.
That's a good point, Alex. And speaking of energy coming from this team and the defense, I think that Well, actually, real quick, did you see the YouTube video about Zion Young when he was drafted? I think it came out just like the
I
other day.
I heard about it, but did not see it. Have not
I
watched it.
watched it the other day, and you gotta watch it, man. You gotta
Okay.
watch it, man. I was so fired up after watching that. Like Zion Young, he's gonna be a guy who brings that kind of like that nasty and that dog back to this Ravens defense that I feel like honestly it's been missing. And I hope that that kind of like reignites the flame in some of maybe the older guys like a Roquan Smith or like a even a Calais Campbell go as old as him, because that kid's gonna bring the energy, right? He's gonna bring the toughness. And after watching that little mini, I guess you could say mini documentary sort of thing that he did when he was drafted, and his parents talking about him and him talking about everything that he's been through and all that sort of stuff. And then of course the draft calls when he talked to Jesse Minter and Eric DaCosta when they told him they were going to select him. Everything, man. Everything, man. You got to go watch that. That
Okay.
guy, I cannot
I'll do my
wait
nighttime viewing for tonight.
for
I
sure.
got you.
And it's
I
only like
got you.
maybe like 12, 13 minutes, it's not long. Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. But yeah, Danny Dimes will be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back week 1. He'll be playing the Ravens. I saw somebody say in the chat the Colts O-line is one of the best in the league. Yes, that
Good.
is true, and exactly good. It'll be the perfect litmus test for Jesse Minter. You're not going up against like too high octane of a quarterback, right? In Danny Dimes, right? He can do some things. He can be dangerous at times, but he's no Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, whoever, right? Joe Burrow, whoever, right? But you do have a really good offensive line in front of him. So the task at hand is how are you going to get to Danny Dimes? Uh, I can't. It's remained to be seen. We'll see. I cannot wait to see. Anywho, uh, we had some news that came out right before we went live. Alex, I want to go ahead and bring that up here. You actually let me know about it. It was Vita Vea, right? Vita Vea just requested a trade. So, breaking news: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, two-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Vita Vea, has requested a trade out of Tampa Bay. Uh, so obviously dominant on the interior. He was basically like a focal point of that Super Bowl, whichever one it was, Tampa versus the Chiefs, where
Yeah.
he was eating up the interior. Him and I think Ndamukong Suh was on that
They
line
had
as well.
Sue, Shaq
Yeah,
Barrett,
yeah.
Pierre Paul.
They had some
Yeah.
guys. They had some dogs on that line for sure. But what do you make of Vita Vea requesting a trade?
Yeah, so I pulled up 4.5 sacks last year, one fumble recovered, two passes bad. I mean, it's the sheer just presence he brings, I feel like. You don't really want to run towards him. And I told you before, I think this is a negotiation tactic just to get a new contract. I don't
Mm,
think the Buccaneers will let him walk. They lost their leader, their captain, and Levante David this offseason. He retired. To lose Vita Vea, I mean, that's losing some guys where it's like, all right, who's the new leader? Is Antoine Winfield? Is he going to step up? Lost Jamel Dean as well to the Steelers, I'm pretty sure. It's like their defense is going on overhaul, and to lose such a big piece like Vita Vea just doesn't make sense. But maybe they feel like it's time to move on and they trade him. But I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he'll stay, probably sign a new deal, and all will be well in Tampa Bay.
yeah.
Because that division's just so open to me. You know what I mean? Like, you really can't pick a winner. But if you're looking at talent wise, I like what the Buccaneers have on offense and some pieces on defense. And it's like there's no one really, really good team. So losing him kind of puts you behind another team.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, who do we have in the NFC South? So you have Tampa, you have
Panthers,
New
Saints, and Falcons.
Orleans. Yeah. Yeah, that is wide open. That is wide open.
They
I
won
don't
it,
know
I think,
because
8-9 last year.
Tampa. I mean, if
The Panthers did.
Baker can stay healthy for most of the season, and he was banged up in a couple different places last year. I saw that on the quarterback special on Netflix, which was again, by the way, very good. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. But I do expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be better this season. But if you ask Saints fans, they've got a lot of faith in what they've got going on as well. I mean, Tyler Shuck ended the year really strong, and of course, they just drafted Jordan Tyson. They still got Chris Olave. Alvin Kamara just re-signed with them. But then the Panthers, they won the division last season. by a miracle, right? And I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, like that division is close.
And for me, the Falcons are a good quarterback away from being a
Yeah,
playoff team. I feel like they
yeah.
have the pieces except the quarterback. Penix has put up numbers, but he also misses time.
Do you think that the Falcons have the best offensive weapons in that division?
I do. I
Yeah,
do. I do.
Bijan, Drake London. That's
I
better than
think.
any running back receiver duo in the rest of the division.
Oh yeah. Like, let's don't get me wrong. We were talking a couple years ago. Kamara, definitely. I would love to see prime Kamara and Bijan just go back and forth because Kamara really was a problem, but right now, yeah, Bijan. It's just that Bijan, like he just is so much better thing than anybody else in that division, running back wise.
Yeah,
And then I look at the Saints. It's like Jordan Tyson's already missing practices. They're already having issues with that soft. And we talked about that. Like when we were talking about the draft, like he might fall because of that, and now he might not be ready for training camp. And so, all right, well, you have Chris Olave, who to me is one concussion away from being done in the NFL. He already had 3 or 4, so their season can just go down very, very quickly. We play in week 2, so who knows what there. And then the Panthers, I like them, and now Nick Scouton goes down. Like when one team takes a hit, they all take a hit. It's
yeah.
it's hard to pick. I mean, I wouldn't even bet on who's going to win this division because it's just too close to call. It's you just got
I
to
wouldn't bet
pick.
either.
Just hope your dart hits the bullseye.
Yeah. Speaking of betting, I cannot wait for again the Purple Rain Parlay segments to come back. Um,
Yes.
I don't think that there's any new lines out, Alex, that we could be looking at. I mean, as the season gets closer and closer, I'm thinking like they got to be dropping. I want to see the lines for everybody on this
You
team
know,
and just predict the over unders.
we
Yeah.
could pick 3 futures we like season futures,
Okay.
for like all the NFL, not just Ravens. We could do
All
that
right.
because I know it's
Well,
it's future
let's
season.
let's do it. You start.
Okay, put him on the spot here. Give me Thursday. Let me come back Thursday. I'll come back
Okay.
with a couple of futures and then maybe some teams to make the playoffs. I can
All
do
right.
that.
All
I can
right.
do that.
Well, you guys heard it here.
Let's do that.
Come back on Thursday. Come back on Thursday. Of course, we do go live every Monday and Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Outside of that, on what Mondays or not Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're live on Quiet Storm Sports right here on the same channel, Purple Rain Podcast, covering more Ravens content. Again, please be sure, guys, to like this video if you've not already. Subscribe if you are new. You're not going to want to miss our Ravens content that's going to be coming out this season. By the way, guys. I did upgrade my background over here. My set, it's a little bit different. Had to change some things around for the new season to commemorate the new season. So that's how we're moving here at PRP as this season rolls around. So again, please be sure to stay locked in to the channel and turn on those notifications. Big things coming. Big things coming. All right, Alex. I think we got through pretty much everything. Is there anything else I missed? Did I miss anything?
I mean, for you, not football related,
What's that?
Mr. LeBron James is a 76er.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Yeah. So LeBron James on Friday, the news came out that he is now going to the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal. In case you didn't know, I am a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I have been since I was a little boy. So this means something to me, man. It means something to me. And I think that with LeBron James basically tying together what Jalen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid can offer, that team can easily come out of the East. And yes, I say easily. Because, I mean, there's just nothing that they don't have, right? They have a nice mixture of youth. They have a nice mixture of veteran leadership, scoring, defense, paint presence. You know what I mean? And somebody who can facilitate, and LeBron, again, tying everything together. I just don't see a world where anybody else in the East can contend with that team if and only if they stay healthy. Because Joel Embiid, for how great he is and how dominant he is as a big man, if you can only play half of every season, what good does that really do your team? So I love Jalen Brown over there. I mean, Jalen Brown being traded from the Celtics, he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder to try to prove he's the man on this new team now. Tyrese Maxey is a phenomenal scoring guard. And then of course, again, Joel Embiid does what he does, but LeBron being there, man, I just. And then it was crazy to me, Alex, because like I thought that he was gonna go to Golden State. I thought that he was gonna,
Really?
ride. Yeah, I thought he was gonna ride off into the sunset. Play with Steph Curry, who he's played with on the Olympic team, and Draymond Green, and they're cool, they're good friends and stuff like that. I thought he was gonna do that and be able to stay in California,
Mm,
because that's where his family has been. So I figured if he didn't want to totally uproot his family, then maybe he would stay in Cali. But he decides to go from the West Coast to the East Coast, right, to try to pursue another championship. And I do think that it comes with some risks, right, because like he's going to a team where he can legitimately contend for a championship. That's going to come with pressure. And if they don't win a championship with LeBron James in these next 2 seasons, I feel like that will hurt his legacy. I will. As
mm,
opposed to if he would have went back to Gold, well, not back to Golden State, but
yeah.
if he would have went to Golden State or maybe even Cleveland, nobody would have slighted him if he didn't win a championship there, because it would have been seen like as, with Golden State, oh, banana boat, you're playing with your buddies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it's the good old boys club, right? Yeah. Or you go to Cleveland, you're just like, okay, you're going home for your last 2 years. That's super honorable, that sort of thing. But what did you make of it when you heard about it?
I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping and expecting Miami. I really was. I thought maybe goes back, with Bam and Giannis. It's like it felt like it would have been a perfect storm, but it wasn't meant to be. Along with the leaked introductory press conference, which I saw a little conspiracy theory, and let me know how you feel about this. Somebody's like they feel like the Kalshis and the poly markets somehow, some way had their hand in that being posted for his odds to jump up. People lose more money, and obviously it's very far stretch, but it just had me thinking like that's how much to me gambling runs kind of the country right now, and sports like something like that so minuscule can change these odds. People put money on stuff and they lose it and the books win. But back to basketball, it's interesting though for the 76ers. I mean, Philly's not too far from me. Would love to see him play just once, or maybe catch him in DC when they play, but it's gonna be just cinema to watch that. So good for you. I'm happy for you. You get to see him play for your team. Your
Yeah,
team.
I'm happy about it too, man. I can't wait to watch it. But you mentioned like the trading markets, the prediction markets and stuff like that, and maybe they had their hand in, posting that link for the Miami Heat. I could not put it past them,
Mm.
Alex, only because like you mentioned, like when there's money involved, money runs the world. It makes the world go round. You know the saying. And when you have things like Polymark and these prediction markets where like literally you're betting money or investing money into something happening or not happening, you know, and the powers to be who have control over things happening or not happening, if they want a piece of that pie, it's very, very accessible to them. All you have to do is make a little mistake, right?
Mm.
Just a little error, we didn't
Oops.
mean to, oopsie, right? And that shifts the market so heavily one way. And if you were in on it, then you can profit off of something like that. So, yeah, no, Alex, I mean, I don't put it past, again, the powers to be, whoever that may be, uh, having their hand in the cookie jar in this type of situation. But, it is what it is, though.
I mean, you can bet on the weather. The weather.
Like, that's
I
crazy.
remember there was a report some guy found the thermometer that they used and like would heat it up and he would just bet the over all the time because he was tinkering with it. Obviously, I think he got charged with it, but it's you can bet on anything. It's very very crazy. And TC, I'm a LeBron hater. I hope Philly lose. They didn't need him. What you say? What you think about that? What TC says?
I
Oh,
mean, they didn't need LeBron James, but I think LeBron James is like that perfect kind of like cherry on top for them. Because Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brown, and again, granted, Joel Embiid can stay healthy for a full damn season. That would be a dangerous team on its own. Super dangerous. But when you add in LeBron James, who knows how to win a championship, just knows how to win in general, right? Knows how to tie a team together, is basically a coach on the basketball court. Like that takes them over the top, right? And you're not asking LeBron to be mad athletic and lock down the opposing team's best player. That's either going to be Joel Embiid, depending on if it's a 4 or 5, or Jalen Brown, 1 or 2, or maybe even 3. Uh, so I mean, if you're a LeBron hater, TC, then I get it. You hope Philly lose. I get it. They didn't actually need him, but and that's why I say it's going to put more pressure on LeBron James if he does not win a championship with the Sixers on what is now considered a super team. When you include him, then that might be a stain on his legacy. It just will. He's only won 4 championships in his career. That's not enough. It is not enough for somebody who's considered the greatest of all time, which I do consider him now the greatest of all time. 4 championships is still in 23 years, especially if it becomes 25. That would be a little bit of a letdown. It would, and it'd be a stain on his legacy. I'd still consider him the GOAT, but I would have thought he needed to win maybe like at least 6. You know what I mean?
I'll be enjoying watching my rebuild in Chicago this year for the 100th time, it feels like.
I don't even know what Chicago has going on. Like,
they got Caleb Wilson at UNC, who's looked good in summer league. Obviously, Josh Giddey still, and then Matas. He looked good last year. So the thing is, though, every jersey I get from the Bulls, they leave. Got Alonzo, got a Zach LaVine, had a Butler, had a Rose. They all left. So you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and just
wait, just wait it out.
Just wait. I wanted a Josh Giddey, but you can't go out in public wearing a Josh Giddey jersey. I'm gonna get called a Giddler.
Nah, you
can't wear it.
Nah, yeah, can't wear that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think that's about it. Alex. So episode 427 of the Purple Rain podcast. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here and now. Again, like I said, we will be back with this main pod on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have plenty to talk about, right? Plenty to talk about because you have training camp. The actual official first practice starts on Wednesday, so we'll have that to break down, and I'm sure so much more news and information as well. So make sure you stay locked in for that. Turn on those post notifications. We'd appreciate that. And then also tune in to Quiet Storm Sports, which will be on tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then also Friday for our happy hour stream. We'll also be breaking down Ravens and other sports on that show as well. So with that being said, wait, Stretch says here in the chat, Sutton, don't run talking about LeBron the GOAT, but he is the GOAT. What are we talking about?
And good news, actually, real quick. Saturday is the open practice at College Park. So fingers crossed we get that stream from the Ravens, the open practice stream that we usually get.
That'd be dope.
We might have a whole freaking full week of Ravens content just to indulge.
And you said that's on Saturday, right?
Saturday, I believe. Yes, I think is it 11 o'clock? Let me check real quick. I don't know what time it is. The stadium practice. It's in UMD.
What up, Coach? Sip to Tally in the house. Go subscribe. Appreciate you for coming through, brother.
I don't know. I'll find out. Oh, it starts at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. So it's early.
Oh, 11? Okay.
Cool.
True. I've got family coming into town this weekend. But I'll definitely still be covering it for sure. I'll definitely
By the way, be doing it.
Before we get out of here, I went to the movies yesterday and I saw The Odyssey. I think I told you this before we went live.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, I definitely do recommend it for sure. Even if you're not into Greek mythology and stuff like that, like it's an entertaining film. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10 if I had to give it like a grade. It's been like critically acclaimed. Like a lot of people have been talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it here. But I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. It did kind of lose me a little bit in the middle. It's a 3-hour movie, Alex. I mean, the movie is like 2 hours and 53 minutes to be exact. But it's a 3-hour movie, and like it feels like it at times, Now there's certain. Go ahead, yeah.
Sorry, did you have like popcorn with it? Do you have like any snacks with it? You sneak something in?
We go to this like premium movie theater where like you can order like actual food and drinks. Like they have a kitchen and all that. Like you can order it to your seat and stuff. So like I ordered some like pizza, just some pizza, and I got a beer. My girl, she got some champagne or something, and that was pretty much how we did it. Okay. Yeah,
Did you use the bathroom during it? Like damn near 3 hours, or did you?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
surprisingly, I lasted the whole entire time, and I didn't even have to go by the time the movie was over. Like I was
Okay.
like
Cool.
surprised, I was surprised because I thought that was like my biggest fear. Like, okay, I'm gonna be like really enjoying this movie, but like really have to piss and like
Yeah.
have to like get it.
That's
I hate that,
always.
man.
I hate
It's
it.
like, damn, I'm gonna miss like 3 minutes of the movie. That's probably gonna be like the most important 3 minutes that like whatever. I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but luckily I didn't have to.
Good. Good. Good.
So
Always my biggest fear.
yeah, let's see. Glaucoma says you got money. I'll walk right into AMC with Five Guys.
Hey, Five Guys, you gotta take a loan out to even get a burger at this point. So
That's a
hey,
fact.
Glock, you
Yeah,
might
so
have the
you the
money.
one who got
You might have the
money.
money. And don't even think about getting a milkshake with that as well, and the Cajun
Yeah.
fries.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
the
a
Cajun
handoff
fries is
for
like an
them?
upcharge, isn't it, from the regular fries, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
and the only
something.
good thing is they would just freaking fill that bag with them fries, though. That's the
Yeah,
only good thing.
they do. They do. They do. But okay. That was funny. All right, Shaw. Again, this has been a great episode of the show, episode 427. With that being said, Alex, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for spending your Monday evening with us here on the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 427 on July 27th. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive and test negative. Ravens football back soon.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. May purple rain. Peace.